Welcome back to Daily with Nate. Nate Ridgway here, your personal performance coach. And we're in our series on the success alphabet. We've already done A, B, and C. Today is D, and we're going to talk about the word dedication. Now, what does it mean to be dedicated? Well, it's a setting aside or a devotion to a certain something, whatever that thing might be. But to be dedicated to something means that there's a sense of devotion. I found that very interesting when I looked that up. Or a setting aside. When I decided to become really dedicated to building an alternative form of income, or a different, some people call it a plan B empire, something different than a job. And I'm not against jobs. Jobs are awesome for some people. It just wasn't really my thing. And it was a whole new world. I had to get really dedicated. That means I had to devote some time. I really had to be devoted to it because there was so much to learn. There was so much of me that needed to grow. There were things in me that needed to change. I had mindsets, I had attitudes, I had emotions, I had behaviors that needed to be checked. And some of them needed to be eradicated. They needed to be washed out of me. And new mindsets and new attitudes and new emotions and new behaviors had to be cultivated. And so it required some devotion for me to be dedicated to the task. And I know a lot of you guys that follow me and that are watching this content, there's something that we share in common. There's a likeness that's there. You want to be more. You want to achieve more. There's something about becoming, and it's not even always about things, right? Sure, maybe you want to pay off your house. You want to get out of debt. Maybe there's some nice things that you like to have. But I really think that it's deeper than that. I find the people that follow me, there's a sense of integrity about moving boldly in the direction of becoming a better you. And to do that, it's not something that you can just want. You need to want it. Like, wanting it is half the battle, but there has to be a sense of dedication, a devotion to the path and to the task. Now, what does that look like? That means that you're going to have to devote or dedicate some of your time to this pursuit. It's not going to just happen. John Maxwell, in his Laws of Growth, he talks about how growth does not just happen. You must have a plan for growth. This is the reason we have women and men in 40 and 50 and 60-year-old bodies running around acting like middle schoolers and high schoolers in their composition, like their mindset and their attitude and their emotional maturity, because they thought that as they grew older, that their person internally would also just naturally grow. Man, to some extent, maybe that happens, but in large, it doesn't happen. You must have a plan to grow. And so if you're going to get dedicated about this thing of becoming a better woman, a better man, then there's gonna have to be a focus and a sense of devotion of time, something that you set apart. We said just a minute ago, a setting apart of some time and some of your attention that you're gonna point in the direction of that growth. Now, what does that look like? That's gonna look like reading books. I remember one time Jim Rohn was giving a talk on leadership, and he said, read the books, read all the books. And what he was saying was, you need to be filling your mind, inundating yourself with the things that other successful men and women have said that have gone before you. And does it mean that you're going to agree with everything? No. You guys can see all these books on the shelves behind me, and I've got more in the cabinet below and over there, and I've got more downstairs and more back in my bedroom, and some sitting on the table over here to my right. Like, I've read so many books. I don't necessarily agree with everything that's been said in all those books, but it's helped to chisel me and cultivate me into the person that I am, and has helped to establish my belief system. Okay, now I'm more informed. I've read a lot of stuff. I've been dedicated to the path. I've read the books. I've watched the YouTube videos. I've watched the DVD series back when we used to do that. Some of you guys remember. I've been to the seminars. I've been in the personal development conferences. I've joined the masterminds. I've put a ton of money. I have been dedicated, very intentional about this path. And you're going to have to get dedicated too if you want to grow to that new level so that you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. Because most of the time, we don't get the things that we want until we become the person that can have those things. And so it really is about the becoming, but you're never going to become who you need to become to arrive where you want to arrive until you become dedicated to the path. So today in our success alphabet, letter D, dedication. All right, I hope that you guys have received a lot from this episode and all of it. You can get this sense that we're building. We're starting to cultivate character. We're starting to work on chiseling on your mindset and your attitude and your emotional maturity, all of these things. Hopefully, This series and all the other episodes that we'll do even beyond the alphabet of success will help you to become the person that you're wanting to become, because truly, I don't want anything more or less for you than for you to be exactly who you want to be and get exactly what it is that you want to get out of life and what you deserve to get. So like, comment, subscribe, share this with somebody else. I hope it's been a blessing to you. I'll see you right back here tomorrow on another episode of Daily with Nate.